So for sure you have seen online that you can 3D print some bolts and nuts, and I found this. I think this was M5, but I made them 100% bigger just because I could not get the nut and the bolt to screw together. Maybe it's my printer, maybe it's the tolerances in this one. So after printing it, I took my impact gun and I ran them to clean the threads, and they do screw nicely now. Again, I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus, but I'm gonna include the link where you can find them, but I should have designed my own just to be sure. And I want to see how strong they are. Of course, this is PLA, this is plastic. They are printed in basically they're solid PLA, 0.2 millimeter layer height, and basically that's it. Simple design. It has an Allen here and just a 16 millimeter nut, after I scale it up. So I got two pieces of I don't know, something like MDF, some FA wood. I think it's a compressed wood. I'm gonna make one hole, and we're gonna try to pull it apart. And I did try to use an impact on them, and they can handle an impact. They can handle a little bit, not much. We're gonna break them eventually because this one goes, I'm not exactly sure, I think 200 Newton meters or something like that. Nevertheless, again, let's make a hole. I will using a step drill. I'm gonna go to 10 millimeter hole. I never have used a step. I never did use a step drill before. It's a nice experience to try it. We do that in the second panel too. First we're gonna try one, then we're gonna try multiple. Again, there's always an application that you can use them for something, like you're trying to make a 3D printed box that you need some 3D printed bolts and nuts, and yes, for that they will work perfectly, but for actually working for something like metal or something, no. And again, PLA, not ASA, no PATG, no ABS, no nylon, no carbon fiber, just a regular old cheap old PLA. I'm gonna screw them down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use anything to, I may use a little bit to torque them, but of course I don't want to break them. And I mean, you know, I don't want to break it, that's the point. Let me use, what can we do? And I broke it. That's why I don't want to use the impact, because I'm breaking it. As you can see, it broke. Let's try another one then. Let me get one that screws nicely. I'm gonna just hand tighten it then. Again, there are some applications for sure that you can use. I did use before. I have my vise here, which this vise has a 3D printed, let's say like a bolt, and it has a nut on the end, and this holds pretty good. So you know, there's always a way to make them work. Let me tighten them. And I mean, of course, if I'm gonna push it, I'm gonna break the wood before I'm gonna break the actual nut. I'm gonna unscrew it, and we're gonna make a little bit more holes. This file even came with some washers, but I'm not gonna use. No point. Screw them down. Then we're gonna do the next holes. Here I will put 3 of them. Again, if you're gonna put a lot of them, I'm sure they're gonna hold to some degree, right? But single, no. I mean, as you can see, there is no moving it. I'll try to. I'm trying to pry it. No. The only thing we're gonna do is we're gonna break the wood. But let's try a hammer. Of course, with a hammer you can destroy it. Let's do it again. Just destroys them. Maybe it's my printing, maybe not, I don't know. So, 3D printed nuts and bolts, they are strong to a point, and again, it will depend on your settings, it will depend for what reason you're using, how big they are, and it will depend on the filament that you're using. Stronger the filament, stronger that they will be. Again, there is always a way to use them. There is always an application that you may need plastic bolts, or you may need the bolts that have a specific breaking point or shear point. So this will work just great for things. Again, you can do some construction things or whatever, you know, for hobby use, for kids to play, and they are good for kids, you know, for kids that understand what it is and want something like that. Like you can see sometimes that they sell the whole toys set that has plastic balls. So for things like that, this is great. But to use it in an actual application that you need to have a little bit force, no, they're gonna break. They will break with my impact wrench and my hammer. So you know, put a load on them, no. But it's a great addition to having a bolt and nut that you can 3D print. And there are metal printers that I would love to own. They are still very expensive, that eventually in the future we'll be able to print our own bolts and nuts and use them for our own application. I'm gonna include the link where you can download them. There are different sizes, different thicknesses, different again, different diameters, whatever that you can find a lot of bolts and nuts on Thingiverse, calls, printables, tongues.com, whatever. So yeah, our video, this was our experiment today. They do hold to a specific point. Thank you for watching, subscribe and share, and I hope I will see you in the next one.